Alright, the Chevy truck, the one I did the AC compressor on, or had to diagnose the air conditioning issue, that's back. And it's not back for the same problem because the air conditioning's fixed. Just a quick update on the AC, I did have to replace the refrigerant line, the liquid side, the side that reduces from the high pressure to the low pressure. Let me show you. The orifice tube sits inside of here also. So I had to replace this, and because it was leaking, and just looking back, when I started working on it, I did clean the area off with brake cleaner, and once I got everything filled up, it started leaking from the high side, so I had to drain it back out and then repair this line here. Cost about $90 at the parts store. I had to go to AutoZone and get it because my parts store, just like Natural, ain't got shit in stock. Thanks, O'Reilly's. Now, I don't know if it's a common thing, but unfortunately you can't replace the Trader valve, or the valve core inside of there. So it is mated, or I don't know how they make it just as an assembly, but you have to buy the whole line. You just can't take the valve core out. But again, that's fixed, and we're on to the exhaust system. Now what it is, of course, I'm not a V8 guy. I hate V8, I'm just not a big fan of them. I work on 4 cylinders all day. I'm not a Chevy guy, but I'll work on anything. But the exhaust manifolds are leaking. There's a bolt that's missing in the back. So that bolt down there is the one that's broken. I'm gonna let you hear it, and you can listen for yourself. I mean, I'm pretty sure you already know what an exhaust leak sounds like. But I'm replacing the entire manifold on the driver's side here, driver left. So we're gonna get a Dorman and some new bolts, and just do it right, so we ain't gotta worry about going through it. My biggest concern is the exhaust manifold gaskets. That's one, and then two, how bad that stud is broken off. Now, I have looked up some people doing this job on the entire net, and there is a repair that'll like a patch fix in a way, but it's still a legitimate repair. You can put a device in the back, and the bracket will allow you to put a bolt in there to squeeze or mash that end on the exhaust manifold closed there. So it's a great idea, to be honest. I do have a kit where I can extract that bolt if some of it's sticking out, but I don't even know if there's anything in there. So I'm gonna find out once I get down in there. I've just been through some of the Chevys before, removing that downpipe. Those bolts are a pain in the ass to get out, and I know I'm gonna have to use some heat. Might get lucky, but we'll see what happens. Just my luck today is everything went smooth, but something's got to go wrong because I'm feeling way too damn good. All right, so we'll see what happened with that. But hopefully I shouldn't have to move the inner cover here, but I will find out. This joker here, but it looked like I can get a lot more room, but it looks very accessible from the top here, so we'll see what happens. Let me get to work. Went ahead and just took the wheel off, and man, I got a lot of space up here. Seriously. So looking at it, those studs are broke, and it looked like, I don't know what the end one looked like, but I see this one here, I got a little meat on it. I should be able to get my special tool on here and get it out. Now, yeah, I think should I remove the exhaust manifold shield, the heat shield? I think I might just do that and see what I can do. It may give me a little bit more room, so I'm gonna pull that off too. I got the bolts soaking. Try to hit them again. That'll be my first line of defense there, trying to loosen those bolts up before I have to use the heat. time I've ever appreciated rust there. I'll tell you, I meant to let you hear the exhaust leak. You'll have to take my word for it. So in the back bank, right between the exhaust manifold and the cylinder head, we can see the carbon trace, and that's the unburned fuel, the rich mixture that accumulated here on the cylinder head. So yeah, just have to take my word for it here. But I mean, it's obvious. I mean, these two bolts are broken. They can't clamp down the exhaust manifold, have a good mating contact to the head, and that'll cause our exhaust manifold leaks. And I'm pretty sure anybody that knows how exhaust leaks look, you'll see that carbon track there. Alright, so I got them loose. I'm just going to hit them with some penetrating oil to get on the head of the bolt, and hopefully it'll reach, and I'm just going to slowly work it loose. So I'm going to go back in and then back out. Here's the bolt. Everything's done. The exhaust went on with no problem. I didn't have to remove anything additional. There were 12mm heads here that the doorman, I think it was in the help section. So the flange bolts, and they're 12mm versus 13, and the downpipe flange is going to be 15 millimeter as it was before. So we're going to start it up, listen for that flacking noise as it was before, and it should be fine. Oh yeah, that sounds normal. Oh yeah, he's going to be happy. It had that flacking noise when it started up, like it was just a little annoying exhaust leak. You know, it would have been funny if I would have crossed the wires up. Like, this is timing that you can't screw up. I'm gonna let everything burn off, and I gotta address some other things that is having. But I'm not sure what happened with the tool. I'm more likely just gonna edit the footage out because I'm not sure why this joker didn't want to work. It worked partially, and it just stopped working. So I had to pull the face off here and I guess reset the little tumblers inside of there. But I'm not sure what happened. I'll give it another try, and I tested on the workbench. I put a screw in there and turned it, and it locked in place, but I'm not sure what happened originally as to why I didn't want to work on the exhaust bolt there when it was the one that was broken. So I'm gonna, I don't know, I might just try it on the bench, see what it can do, because I mean it has a half-inch drive in the back here. I'm not sure what in the world happened, but it seemed like it works now. I mean, it's like you got to keep constant pressure on it because it's. I have to pull one apart one day and show you how I look inside of it. But I can understand the principles, because once you release the pressure, it'll relax and go back into its opening where it will have more of a relaxed state, the contour to the 8 millimeter. But it still, the tumbler has to have some type of pressure to work and latch on to, so when you twist it, it'll continuously apply that clamping force, and that's why you got to keep turning it once you get the momentum going. I tried using the impact, it didn't do shit. It didn't work. But I think something happened inside of it. But they're reset. We'll see what happens. I'll give it another try, and if it don't work, I mean, I highly doubt I'm gonna have to use it again. I never had any problems with the tool from OEM. But I mean, things happen. I'm not stressed out about it. So I know I said I was gonna use it, and it didn't work. So we'll work on that. But other than that, I'm gonna let all this oil burn off. Check out the other issues that it has, because it has some rear end noise, and we're slowly but surely getting all this stuff straight. And again, I mean, it went. I don't know what the other mechanic was doing. They weren't satisfied with it, but they're getting their money worth here. So, especially I'm curious to see how long that exhaust gasket, how long that lasts, because it looked like crap to me, but it looked like it had a metal shim in the middle. We'll see how long that work out. But other than that, hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed, have that reassurance on work. See you on the next one.